Hello, welcome to Wasting Time Podcasts. I'm Chris. I'm here with Nick. Hello, Nick.
Hello, how we doing, man?
Doing good. Doing good. How you doing?
I'm all right. Yes, I'm here again. I did it. It's hard to know kind of how many because you do quite a lot of episodes without me now. Like
This is
when the
true.
last time I was actually speaking on one of these things, because it might have been.
Well, you were here. You were here for the last episode that was out. You were here for the intro part, so you've
There you
been
go.
you've been here for most of those. But yeah, we did. We'll not say who it was or anything just yet, but we did record a full episode together. Just what the weekend before last, I think it was, which was good
Yes.
having you back for
Yeah.
some of that action.
Yeah, and it was an interesting one as well, I thought. Definitely out of our comfort zone from like an age demographic perspective. Um
Yes,
I was
it was someone very current, definitely.
Yeah, try to dial down the dad vibe on that one.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But we'll not say much more on that. But it's a good
Okay.
episode, so watch out for that soon. We'll try and keep the intro today as brief as we can. Any music been catching your attention recently?
I think we talked about it last time, but I've been listening to the new Trophy Eyes record quite a bit, which I'm really enjoying actually. And I'm not sure, I'm not sure if it'll. Well, maybe it will go down with you. Okay. I mean, have you listened to it yet? Or?
I haven't given it a fair chance because I think it wasn't quite out when we recorded the last episode. So we just talked about the singles. Yeah, I tried when it came out, I did give it a couple of spins and it's cool. I'd already liked a couple of the singles. Some of it was maybe a bit too heavy for me with the
Yeah. Well,
vocals.
this is what I like about it, right? Because it just seems to like really it just flows really well, like in I think between some of like the heavy shouty stuff into kind of the melodic poppy
Yeah,
pop, because there's like real kind of there's like synthy bits with like piano, and then there's your kind of classic kind of well more almost like kind of Mayday Parade kind of poppy kind of vibe to
yeah.
sections of it, but I think it just kind of it's got this really nice flow to it. I think that's what kind of, and that's kind of what I'm enjoying about it. Really, kind of the heavy, like punk rock, kind of more shouty stuff into the kind
Yeah.
of poppy stuff that's kind of more acoustic and like keys and synthy as well. Like it's yeah, I've yeah really taken me by surprise a little bit really.
So your favorite thing by them so far, would you say?
Oh yeah, definitely going in a different little bit of a different direction, and I don't know, just a bit different, I think,
Yeah.
from everything else that's out there at the moment that's, doing the synthy thing, or like, the bit the crossover kind of.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely have a sound. Like you hear something by them and you know it's them, which is good.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll keep spinning that, I think, but not a great deal other than that, to be honest with you, man.
Not too much else.
What's going on with you?
Yeah, a few things here. I'll go through them quickly. So I mentioned this band last time, Friend Circle, spelt with all the vowels missing. Their album came out last week, Suburban Dictionary. It's at times you listen to it and you feel like this is almost like doing a parody of you know, take off your pants and jacket era Blink. But if you get
Mm-hmm.
past that, it's pretty good. And like there's the odd melody that's borrowed from somewhere else. Like there's a very much an all-time low chorus on one of the songs. But you take it for what it is, it's done very well. And
Okay.
most it's 14 songs and most of them are pretty good. So I think you'd probably enjoy it. Uh,
What's the deal with like people dropping vowels in things now? Like,
yeah, that's been a thing for a while.
yeah, but why? Huh. Like,
I,
when
d-
did it become a thing, and why did it become a thing?
I so I don't know the answer to either. I mean, would it be something to do with when you're googling or you're searching for a band, it'll come up quicker, won't it? If you type Friend Circle without the vowels, obviously you're going to hit these guys straight away. But if you type Friend Circle, you might get all sorts of other things. I don't know. You mentioned Mayday Parade before. They had a new song last week. Got Me All Wrong. That's pretty standard Mayday Parades, but that always sits well with me. I'm enjoying that. There's a band on Wiretap called Baby Got Back Talk.
He got back.
I know it's
Right, okay.
unusual name. Check them out. They've got Wiretap that Love Breakers put a record on, and they like Rob at Wiretap always picks up great bands. Yeah, check these guys out. They have some catchy songs, and I think they're doing something cool. Did you see Fall Out Boy did a cover of Billy Joel? We Didn't Start the Fire the other day.
No.
Are you familiar with the original?
I probably will. It rings a bell.
You'd know it if you heard it. The original is a great song, and it kind of lists like historical things that happened in every decade since the 50s or something up until when it came out in the late 80s. So Fall Out Boy have done an updated version where it lists all newsworthy items from 1989 to 2023, which is a fun idea. And it's really cool. Like it's worth a listen because the stuff they get in there is pretty funny. Except my only criticism is it's just random, the order. So like the first verse, it will mention Captain Planet and deepfakes in the same verse. And it's just like all over the place. Whereas the Billy Joel one was somewhat in
linear.
Exactly, which I think is a bit more fun. But aside from that criticism, it's it's all right. And it's rare I say something nice about Fall Out Boy release. But yeah, that's kind of it for me. Yeah, that's what's been keeping me occupied last week or so.
And now it's just about getting ready for 2000 Trees this weekend. Well, for you anyway, not for me. Sadly, I cannot make it.
Unfortunately, yeah, we talked about this, I think, last time. So we're going to 2000 Trees. Unfortunately, Nick's not able to make it, but my friend Greg is stepping in, which is much appreciated and will be good. And it's kind of it's a nice full circle moment because Greg was the first ever guest that we had on this show way back in late 2015. So so it should be good. Okay, mate, shall we get into today's guest?
For free, yeah.
Yeah, so today we had Deanna, who sings for the band Sincere Engineer, who are kind of having a moment at the minute. They just released a new single, California King, ahead of an album coming out in September. And there's a lot of buzz about them in the scene. So it was great that Deanna gave us some of her time. So here is our chat with her. So how's things with you?
Pretty good. How about you?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Do you remember where we met? It was comparatively recently.
The Blue something.
That's it. Yeah. So yeah, tell me how I guess, so that was about a month ago, right? So since then, you've done some big things before you came home. So I think on the day that I met you,
we just got there.
You just got there, and were you playing with Yellow Card that night?
No, it was the next night. That was our day that we had to stay up to avoid jet lag.
Yeah, it's always a pain when you're kind of going forward in time, which obviously you would have been doing coming from the States.
Yeah, I didn't sleep at all on the plane.
Oh, man. How was the Yellow Card show?
It was awesome. It was very fun. The venue was cool, and it was like pretty intimate, and that was like my first favorite band, so it was really crazy to like hear those songs 20 years later or something.
Yeah. Proper full circle moment for you, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What were they like? Did they treat you guys well?
Oh yeah, they're very nice. It was awesome. And we saw them a couple times like throughout the weekend too, because they played Slam Dunk also, and they were on our same stage, so we saw them like in the back area a bunch. They're very nice.
Yeah, and like obviously they're having a big moment coming back now. So yeah,
totally.
And how was Slam Dunk itself?
Oh, it was awesome. It was probably like the highlight of the whole tour for me. It was crazy that many people came to see us. Like we like opened the thing, so it's like 11 o'clock in the morning. I heard there was a bunch of issues with like getting in, but it's a bummer.
Yeah, I wasn't there myself, but I know they received a lot of backlash on Twitter, etc. for some of the logistics, I guess.
Sure.
But that's cool. Like from your side of things, it sounds like it went really well. Was it both? So same deal for both South and North, was it? Like,
yeah, similar situation. We're very grateful to play for that many people. Like that was, it's our second time over there, so it was like cool to see.
Yeah, so I remember when we met in person, you were saying so the only previous time you come over was last year. You came over with you did that Menzingers show, right?
Exactly. The London show was at the Roundhouse, which was a very
That
fun
was it.
show. That place was cool. Did you say you were there? Sorry.
No, I didn't. I was in Asia randomly at the time.
Oh, nice.
Otherwise I
That's
would have
cool.
been there. Yeah.
Nice.
I do try and catch the Menzingers when they're in town. They played Brighton this week, so I went down and went
Cool.
to their show this week.
Gotcha. Where are you located?
Yeah, well, I remember when we met, like you said, like your UK geography wasn't like.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn it. I'm trying to
yeah.
match up the accents with people I know, so I could like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am based. Essentially, I'm London. I'm like 25 minutes southwest of London.
Gotcha. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of, it's far enough out that it's not counted as London anymore. I live near a place called Kingston that has a huge music scene.
Nice.
They had something called Banquet Records, which might have come on your radar before, but I'm sure they'll try and book you for something next time you guys are touring. The bigger you get, that's normally the way it goes.
Gotcha. That's awesome.
So you did Slam Dunk, which went well, and then it straight off to mainland Europe for a week or two. Is that right?
Yep. We went to France, and then I'm like drawing a blank, like Germany, Austria, and then it ended in like Slovakia, Slovenia, and Budapest, which was really cool. Never been over there at all.
Yeah. Any standouts? Any places that stood out to you that you liked more than others?
Budapest was awesome. The venue was crazy. It was like shipping containers like all along, like with like bars and stuff. It was kind of like, it reminded me of like Navy Pier, which is this like Chicago thing over here.
Okay.
It was cool to be there.
Who did you play that show with?
Billy Talent, the Menzingers, and Frank Turner.
Oh wow. Okay. That's a hell of a lineup.
Yeah, for sure. It was awesome.
So obviously you already have a relationship with the Menzingers. Did you know any of those other artists prior to this run? Okay.
No, but we got to meet them all. They were all very, very sweet. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I think of them. We've had Frank Turner on the show before. He's a very charming chap.
Yeah, he's awesome. It was very cool to meet him. I've heard like a lot about him. I love his music, so
that's really cool. So when did you get back home?
June 8th. So it's been a minute.
Okay.
It's like, it already feels like it was forever ago because time goes by so fast. So
and home is Chicago, right?
Yeah. In the bird.
What's home life look like for you? Do you work when you're at home? And
I do. I'm like in the middle of. I'm trying to find a job right now. I left my previous one, and I'm like working on finding like a remote job. Just like working on music, and like we're about to announce a record. I don't know when this is coming out, but I don't care. We're announcing a record on Wednesday, so I've been.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very exciting. Because have you got a new single out like at the end of next week or something?
Yeah, on Wednesday.
Oh, the new single's out on Wednesday, and you'll announce the forthcoming album.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm very excited.
Oh, I bet you are. And I want to talk a bit about this a little further down the line of this conversation. But so the most recent single at the time of recording, probably not at the time that this is out, because I very much doubt I'll have this out by next Wednesday, full disclosure.
Gotcha.
But at the time of recording your most recent single, Fireplace, so I assume that's like the first material from this record. Yep.
That's like the I don't know if you're familiar with like the Corn Dog song we have. That's like the Corn Dog song of this record. So it's like the kind of goofy, like fun one. That's why we didn't announce the record with it. It was just kind of like make it seem like a one-off, but it's not really. Okay. So nobody would be like, oh, is it going to be a whole record of like silly? You know what I mean? So.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to take things back a little bit, if that's cool with you. So, do you grow up in Chicago?
Yeah, the suburbs, but pretty much.
Okay. So obviously you mentioned Yellow Card before being like one of the early bands. So what was the first music that you kind of got into?
I grew up on like dad rock, sort of like classic rock stuff. But when I got into music, like this kind of stuff, like the Yellow Card was one of the first bands, Newfound Glory, and then like Alkaline Trio and the Lawrence Arms, Chicago specific. And that's kind of where I got like obsessed with like Chicago punk scene.
It's a very good punk scene, to be fair.
Totally heavily influenced, if it's not obvious.
Like, so when did you start playing music? When did you realize that was something you could do?
I took guitar lessons for like a long time, like in middle school, and like nothing ever clicked. And then I started writing songs during college, and I was like, I wanted to be a dentist and didn't get into dental school, so I like started playing more shows and stuff, and it kind of snowballed from there. So I kind of feel like I was late to the game a little bit, but
better late than never. Hey?
Yeah.
So Sincere Engineer, kind of that started as just you, and then kind of like morphed into a full band.
Yeah.
Were you always doing solo stuff prior to that, or had you had bands as well?
No, this was like my only project.
Okay.
It started like acoustic, and I'd play a bunch of shows, and then I got a band, and now I kind of do both. The name's like kind of synonymous with my like actual name now, so it's like a weird thing, but I write all the songs and stuff, so I try to keep like both things alive. I just did an acoustic tour last summer, so ideally it's something I want to like be able to do both whenever opportunities come up.
I mean, this is a very lazy question, but a journalistic question. But what made you choose Sincere Engineer?
Do you know the band The Lawrence Arms?
I do.
Okay.
Is that one of their songs?
No, it's like something Brendan said like in an interview once, just like in passing. I don't even like really remember. It's a long time ago, but I made that my Instagram name like when Instagram came out, and then when it was like time to put up music, I was like, I'll just call it that. That's fine. So,
is Brendan Kelly still like a hero of yours to this day?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's like weird because he's like also a friend now, but he's still my hero.
That must be weird when that kind of thing happens.
For sure. Yeah, I have to like catch myself and be like, just act normal.
Has that happened with any other artists that you were kind of sort of idolized growing up, who are now like friends / peers?
Yeah, I mean like Trio, but not as much. I like talk to Dan sometimes. Also one of my heroes.
I sort of associate Dan with Toby from Red Scare, which leads me to my next question, because you kind of that was kind of where it all started.
Yeah,
for you,
for sure.
Right? That was like your first kind of break. Is that fair to say?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So how did Toby discover you?
I used to go to shows when I was like, very young, and he'd be like, what's this like weird kid doing here? And he'd like make a point to say hi to me all the time. And then somewhere along the way I had like music, and he was like, he found out about it and was like, do you want to open for Brendan? Like, this show's coming up, I need like somebody to open. And I was like, I've never played a show before, but yeah.
Your first show was opening for your hero, essentially.
Yeah. Okay. It's wild.
Right.
I still like to this day I thank him. It like changed my life. So
what was this, about 8 years ago or so?
2015. So yeah, I think so. I'm bad at math. That sounds right.
And then what was the fallout from that? Like, did you kind of get more opportunities for shows based on that one presumably going well? Basically,
yeah. I also I had a lot of comedian friends at the time, like in the Chicago scene, and they
really?
Yeah, and they all like had these like showcases, and they'd have like a musical guest at the end of it, and I was just like taking like anybody who wanted me to play, I would do it. So I did a bunch of those, and then that the name gets moved around like quickly when you do like stuff like that, because it's like on every flyer. And then that's why I say like it snowballed from there, because it was just anyone who would let me play, I was like, I'm down, that's cool. So
that's cool. Any of those comedian friends, anyone that I would have heard of 8 years later, anyone who's kind of had would have made it over the pond and had a break or anything?
Not that I know of, but
okay.
I kind of fell out of the scene. I was never really in the scene. I was just like the musical guest that was like around a lot. This was all like, a lot of it was like DIY improv sort of deal. So
cool. Okay. So did Toby then kind of just say, I want to put out some music for you as well? And
well, I recorded the record like without even telling him.
Okay.
Because I didn't know that was like even an option. And then when it was done, I like sent it to him, and he was like, he like offered to put it out after hearing it. So was cool. It wasn't really like the record was done before like he even yeah, I don't know how to explain, but yeah, it was more like I was gonna put it out, whether it would be like with him or just like put it up on the internet for free or whatever.
Sure.
So it was like very nice of him to put it out. I had like no experience like whatsoever, so
that's very cool. And did he kind of help you like form the band as well, find musicians to kind of?
No, the my friend who produced it, who I met at a show just like throughout the years, he like kind of brought my bandmates in because they were his friends and now they're my friends also.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, yeah. So it was like kind of like a little bit of a manufactured thing, but now we're all best friends, so it's cool.
And then, so what was like the next step? Did you kind of, because you were with Red Scare and stuff, did you get on some pretty decent tours around that?
Yeah.
Yeah. What were some of the ones you did?
Yeah. My first tour was like with the Lawrence Arms, like East and West Coast in the States.
I bet you were happy about that.
Yeah. I mean, it was like the best. I can't ask for a better first tour. I did that solo and then the record came out and then we started playing like full band shows. Our first couple tours were with like Heart Attack Man, Mom Jeans,
okay. Yeah.
Hot Mulligan. And then the Menzingers like 2 years ago now, or was that last year? I don't think all the years are blending together. It's kind of hard.
Yeah.
And then of course like the pandemic, there was like 2 years off.
Yeah, I mean, presumably that must have hit you hard, given that you were now in a position where you were touring, I assume, pretty much full time, and then to have that kind of.
Yeah, it was definitely I mean, part of that was like a jump to Hopeless Records, and that took a little bit of time, and then.
Sorry to cut in. Was the jump to Hopeless, was that before the pandemic kind of came in? Was that?
It was like
the wheels in motion for that prior to that? Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it was like October and then like February it happened.
Got you. Okay.
So, yeah, so we kind of like prolonged putting out the record because it was like we wanted to tour on it, but you know, it was like back then we didn't really know how long that was going to last. Yeah. So you know, time just went by really quick, but it's like a blur now.
How did you first get on Hopeless's radar? I assume it was Tobin who first spoke to you. I might not have been, but that's probably a reasonable guess, you know.
Yeah, for sure. He emailed me and I thought it was like spam. And then I had somebody be like, go check your email and respond to that right now.
Wow. So what he just obviously seen your name about and
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Had a bit of a buzz around you. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. But you know, I get a lot of spam email, so I didn't know that it was real.
And did that lead to you guys working together pretty quickly after that first contact?
Yeah, for sure. After all the signing and the pandemic stuff happened, it was like that, like, you know, we put out the next record in I think last September or 2021.
2021 September, I think it was. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That record, was that with the same producer who sorry, his name escapes me.
Matt Jordan.
Matt Jordan, that was it. No, I know you didn't say, but I was reading about him earlier.
Gotcha. Yeah, he did that one also.
Okay. Because you've gone to Mike Sapone this time around.
Yeah, for this one.
Yeah, because I mean, hell of a credits list that guy has.
He was so nice. It was. We had a really good time recording with him. When
you were like weighing up who to go with, were there other contenders, or was like once you knew he was an option, we were like, no, this is the guy.
There were a few others. I think I chose him because like we vibed the easiest, and I love all the stuff he's done. So like chatting with him on the phone was like we knew each other for like 10 years. It was something like felt like good about working with him. So, and the other people were great too. It was a really hard decision. So yeah, but we had a really good time. We like got to go out to like the middle of Massachusetts and like record in this old church next to a cemetery. It was like really creepy, but like we got to stay in like the basement of it. It was awesome.
That's very cool. How long was the tracking process?
Like 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And like with a producer like that, like was he quite hands-on? Did you want him involved in like the song structure a lot, or did you?
Yeah.
What kind of balance you wanted to go for?
Yeah. I had all the songs written, and then he like listened to them all, and like we did like a couple days of pre-production out here in Chicago, and he was like, if he told me like this song's too short, you need to write like a second verse or something. That happened a few times. So and then I tried to have all that done before we got there. There was like a little bit of like some like we'd like record for the day, and then I'd like go to bed and like scribble some stuff to like fix in the process. But yeah, I try to avoid that because that stresses me out a lot. Like writing minutes before you're about to say it is you never know if it's gonna like stick.
Yeah, no, of course. So. But I mean, yeah, it I do find it always helps, like, you know, when you have a producer like that, just someone who's like has an outside perspective from the objective, exactly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, and he's great at that. So, you know, it's like he'd be like, if we were to like going off into something, he'd be like, you guys are scaring me. Like, just stop doing that. It was awesome.
I suppose you can say when the record's out, because this will be public knowledge when it's
out, totally. I think September 22nd.
Okay.
Nice. Now I have to even like look. Yeah, that seems right. Yeah, that's right. September 22nd.
That's good. That's like, you know, I always think a 2-year cycle for an album is the perfect one. So it's almost like be like 2 years today, almost since your last one. Exactly. Okay.
That wasn't on purpose, but I like that. I'm gonna steal that. I was just like, we wanted to do like where you put out 3 singles, like the buildup of it, and then since we're playing Lollapalooza, we thought we'd like kind of put it kind of around there. So
that makes sense. That's very exciting. And how do you feel about it compared to previous stuff? You know, I assume you're feeling like this is the best album you've done so far.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, everyone feels like that, but often, particularly, I would say at your stage of your career, it would make sense because it would make sense that your songwriting is going to get better and better.
Right, totally. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. There was like, I mean, I'm proud of all of them in like different ways, but I think this one's like finally kind of feel comfortable with like what's going on and like how I like approach it, like songwriting. I mean, and yeah, I don't know. I think we all did like we brought our A game sort of deal.
Nice.
And my vocals, just like because I have to sing a bunch for touring and stuff, they've gotten stronger just because I have to do it more. So, yeah.
So you mentioned before that Fireplace isn't representative of the rest of the record necessarily.
Right. I mean, there's like some kind of straightforward punk songs kind of like that. But the like silliness that was probably the most silly. There's like a few lines in different songs that might like, you know, be similar, but the rest of the songs are not about murder, for example.
did you have someone in mind when you wrote those lyrics, or
no,
it was just more abstract?
It was abstract, yeah.
Okay.
Relatable nonetheless, I think.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we've all felt like that about someone at some point in our lives. Yeah. The new single, well, it's weird because I guess it will be out when this is out. Remind me what that's called.
California King.
Oh yes, I saw your Instagram post. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the vibe of that song? What's that song about?
It's about like wanting to like move out of the city because it's like, even though there's a bunch of people packed in a small place, it's like kind of lonely if you're not like hanging with the right people. And yeah, it like a lot of the songs on the record kind of like go through like a house sort of in a weird way. Like that song's like a bedroom with like California King bed, and then there's like a song about like the garage and like like different, or you know, when you hear it, there's like a lot of mentions of like rooms and houses and stuff and like stuff like that. So
okay, cool.
Yeah, and like the fireplace, for example.
Right. Okay.
So,
okay.
But yeah, I'm very excited about that one, and like I said, the announcement is also next week. So
yep.
Gearing up for like a lot of that.
Is there going to be like a tour announcement with the record announcement, or
not at this time?
Okay.
Hopefully by the time this comes out, there will be.
Okay.
We're working on like getting some shows in there, so I'm currently waiting on what like the dates available and stuff. So
generally, I suppose like your life looks like in a calendar year? Are you on tour? Like, what percentage of the year are you on tour?
I would say like maybe like 3 months out of the year, maybe 4.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of depends. Like last year was like I've never been on tour more than last year. And it was kind of a lot.
Yeah, how did you find it? Is that a good thing or a bad thing, or?
Oh, I'm glad we did it, and it was very fun and like good for the band. But I don't like being away from home that long, so it's like,
yeah.
And we did like 6 weeks, and then like 2 months home, and then another 6 weeks. It gets like really strenuous and like stressful. So I don't know. I could do like, I don't know. It kind of just depends on what's going on, but I like smaller amounts for like more smaller amounts than like instead of doing like a 6-week tour.
Yeah, because it's grueling, it's long, right?
Yeah, totally.
And like being in each other's faces that much is a test. For, it doesn't matter how good your friendships are or whatever. But how old are you guys, if you don't mind me asking? It always feels like
I'm 30, and then we range from like 31 to 36, I think.
Okay, so I feel like
we're like old.
Yeah, like it's maybe I suppose it's easier to deal with it because you're all a bit you'll be more mature than kids in their early 20s and stuff, so
yeah. Like the interpersonal stuff we're like pretty good about. I mean, there's like moments when we're like all high stress and like kind of can like figured out that it's usually someone's hungry or tired. So it's like if the basic needs are met, we're like a good group. But I mean, it's just like being like this old and like leaving home for 6 weeks is kind of hard because it's like we all have like family and like partners and stuff, and plants.
Right.
And pets. It's like 6 weeks is a long time.
It's a lot to leave behind for a long time. And so, what would be your favorite tour you've done so far, if you could pick one?
Ooh, that's a hard question. I mean, the Menzingers tour in the US and the Europe one, were both. I mean, like, I love that band, and meeting them and their crew is like, they're the nicest people.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very nice of them to take us out on like both like that was like a huge US tour, and then like our first time in Europe. So I'm gonna say those. Just
that makes sense.
Yeah, we feel like we're like our bands are like best friends. It's like so nice
awesome.
to like we we did that this last tour. We had like a couple shows toward the end with them, and we were like all talking about how stoked we were that we got to like say bye to them and like have like familiar faces around.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
that's cool. What's your favorite Menzingers album?
Probably On the Impossible Past. That's like the first one I know. I like Rented World a lot too. After the Party, they're all good.
Yeah, Rented World I really enjoyed when it came out. Like a lot of the songs didn't hit at first, like the slower ones on it, but like I found like the growers on that album are actually some of the strongest songs they've ever written, I think.
For sure. Yeah, no, they're very talented and good.
Yeah, great band. We did we had Tom on the show once. He seemed like a lovely chap.
Oh yeah, totally. He's got like cool hobbies too.
Really?
Yeah, he's like into photography and like taking pictures of mushrooms and stuff. Yeah.
So I've just got like a few things here before we can wrap this up. I did notice that this was picked up on another show you did recently, but I had to I just wanted to get into your love of Carhartt and when that started, because like
I saw your shirt. I was gonna say.
Oh yeah.
Nice. I was gonna say I didn't want to interrupt you, but earlier I saw it.
See, I have way too much Carhartt, and like it's probably it's the label I have the most. But I love how specific you are, because you just seem to have the one.
Yeah.
Wear that same design all the time. I have a variety of Carhartt stuff, but I love your specific, like, hey, if it ain't broke, I'm not fixing it.
Totally. I mean, I do have like other stuff. I mean, I'm like drowning in it. I have like this backpack here's Carhartt. I'm like wearing Carhartt underwear. But the shirt is like at this point I feel like I can't not wear it. Because people be like, what is this?
It's properly your uniform. I love it. Carhartt, it's crazy. Like they hey, like their marketing team's done something right because they've just absolutely nailed so many markets.
Oh, for
days,
sure.
you know?
Yeah, totally. Like music, not just musicians, but like, the farming, obviously, and the
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
anybody who like, I don't know, like any factory workers and stuff. I feel like they don't even, I don't know. I don't like see like commercials and stuff for it. I guess
Yeah,
it's
that's
probably
true.
a lot of
Yeah,
marketing.
you don't. But yeah, like they've just now like so big, like in our kind of world, but like in the hip
Yeah.
hop world, it's huge and like
Really? Oh, nice. Yeah, and
yeah.
like the work in progress. There's one in
Yes.
London, right? Yeah.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
It's a great brand. It's very expensive in the UK though.
Work in progress or regular or
Oh,
both?
both.
Okay. That's like the regular one is not expensive, which is awesome. Like this shirt's like $16. It's pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
that's crazy. You would that shirt over here would be, I would guess, like generally would be about £40, which was that about $55.
That's crazy. Are you sure?
Yeah.
You're sure?
Promise you. Like
Wow.
just because of how they're marketed, they managed to get away with.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because like I like Work in Progress has like very similar like basic T-shirts like this, and they are like 60 or something. But if you like get the just Carhartt, not Work in Progress,
It's
here
like it makes a
like
difference.
60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, in my
That's
experience here, it's just the same, which is ridiculous.
That's a bummer. But you guys are on the Euro, right? Or no, the
No,
GP.
yeah, we're on the pound still. Yeah,
Yeah,
our country likes to separate itself from Europe more and more.
Yeah, that always
the whole
confuses
thing.
me.
I meant, so obviously I asked about favorite tours you've done so far. What are some of the tours you would like to do? Like we can go like within the realm of realism and
Sure.
dream tours. So yeah.
Alkaline Trio would be sick. Jawbreaker, The Wonder Years. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like all my favorite bands pretty much, I'd do the Lawrence Arms again. That was fun.
Oh, yeah,
but like
yeah,
as a full band, that would be cool.
Okay, I'm just gonna. I've just got a few more quick fire questions, and then
yeah,
I think we're good.
Cool.
They're very random, just to warn you in
Nice, I like
advance.
that.
Have you ever seen a ghost?
No, but I believe in them. I haven't. I'm like waiting for my moment.
But it hasn't happened yet. Okay.
Have you?
No, I see. I'm not sure if I believe in them or not. But I was in a hotel room in Mexico once that had a very creepy atmosphere, and the TV turned itself on in the middle of the night, which is probably an electrical fault, but it was weird because the room, there was just something about the room that was creepy. I couldn't put my finger on it, and then that happened. So I was like, that was weird. It's hardly a ghost story for the ages, but that's the closest I've come.
Sure. I mean, my dad has like ghost stories that actually happened to him, so I believe them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are there any short ones that you could share, or are they all a bit long-winded? I mean, long-winded is fine, but I don't want to keep you for ages.
When my grandma died, it's kind of gross. But he said there was like a smell in the room, and then like this is gonna be bad. And then like later, like before her funeral, he said that he could like smell it, the same smell, like when he'd like open the fridge or like get in the car or something. And suddenly it's like it doesn't hold up as well as I thought. But there's like others.
No, but I believe in that. That is weird. That is weird. Well, hopefully your moment will come.
The smell.
This is one I always tend to ask, so I'm got to think of these as I ask the question. But I'm gonna give you 3 artists that have been on this show before, but you're only allowed to keep the music of one of them.
Man,
you can never listen to.
All right.
You can never listen to the other 2 again.
People are gonna hate me.
I'm deciding how mean to be because there's a lot of artists that you're either friends with or a fan of here, so I could be harsh, but I'm going to be random. Am I going to include? No, I won't include the men singers. I'll leave them out. But I'm going to give you Newfound Glory, Get Up Kids, and Rise Against. You can only keep the music of one of those.
That's hard. This is really hard. I'm just gonna pick Newfound Glory.
Okay.
Because I think I know the most by them.
I probably would have gone for them as well. Yeah,
cool.
I'll openly say that.
That was hard though.
Favorite TV show?
Arrested Development. or BoJack Horseman, or I Think You Should Leave for more recent.
I Think You Should Leave. I have not watched.
Oh, you gotta. It's so good.
I recognize the name. Sorry, I'm just going to Google that real quick.
Tim Robinson. He was on like Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Is it like a sketch? Is it like a sketch show?
It is. Yeah. It's like he was like a writer, and I think they like turned down a lot of his ideas, so he just made his own thing with them.
Oh, okay.
And it's so funny.
I saw The Guardian were really raving about that the other day, and I was like, let's check that out.
It's great.
Favorite foods?
Like everything. Hot dogs, pizza, child's palate sort of deal.
Solid choice though.
Yeah, totally.
And if you can, give me your top three bands of all time. I feel like the old Larry Arms might get a look in.
Yeah, them for sure. I like Third Eye Blind a lot. And,
yeah, me too. I love Third Eye Blind.
Yeah. There's another Alkaline Trio.
Okay.
Surprisingly.
Okay. Favorite Alkaline Trio record?
I like all of them. I don't think I have a favorite. I literally can't pick. If I had to, like, whatever you want to give me is fine. I like them all.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think we could probably wrap things up there. So yeah, for people listening to this, California King will be out now, and you'll know the record is coming late September, so look out for that. Got plans to come back over this way anytime soon?
I hope so. Probably maybe next year. Okay. We don't have any plans yet, but I'd like to come like once a year. That'd be amazing.
Awesome. I will try and make it out to a show because I've still yet to see you guys live.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be awesome.